Here at the University of Galway School of Medicine, we're very conscious that all medical students need exposure to general practice. No matter what specialty you go into in medicine, you are always going to be interacting with patients that have come through the general practice service. The world and Ireland is undergoing a huge shortage of GPs, both in terms of our workforce, but also the workload that GPs have to manage. So in order for us to be able to deliver the care to patients that they need, we need a very robust GP workforce. So we prepare our students to go out on placement in a number of ways. We use a lot of simulation, where we reenact with our simulated patients typical GP consultations. We know that one of the key ways to support a medical student to choose a future career in general practice is to give them adequate exposure to high quality GP work throughout their medical education.
So to me, they're one of the team. They very much help us. You know, they're here to learn. We're here to help with their training and their learning and their education. But they provide us with help. I mean, it's busy and it's always helpful to have another person here. And I think it's our privilege and pleasure to have a student rather than the other way around. It's something we genuinely enjoy. Specifically, I have a special interest in addiction medicine, and I also work with the HC West drug service. So they get to experience the work we do there with patients who are on opiate substitution therapy. So that's methadone and Suboxone. Generally, I allow them to settle in for a time where they're sitting and observing consultations. But as they show comfort in being more involved in the consultation, I will work collaboratively with them to bring them into the consultation. Then we might move on to tasks such as testing urine, but they will also learn with me how to do urinary drug screening, which is a skill that is unique to our practice, but it's beneficial to them because I always say to every student I have, no matter what specialty you end up in, having experience in general practice will stand to you.
It was definitely a privilege to see Niamh work and her helping people at their most vulnerable state, and gave me so many learning opportunities, let me do so much. It wasn't just observing, I was helping her, I was part of the practice.
Students are very accommodating, they'll fit in well into the practice. I always found that they came in very seamlessly, and I suppose that's the type of family practice that we've engendered here. We get each of them to stand for a photograph, and it just brings together the whole kind of family idea of medicine. And our family gives us a real sense of the kind of continuity of education in medicine as well. It's almost like a shrine to everyone that's been here. Well, if I'd have any advice for someone thinking of taking on students, don't be afraid, take the plunge, and you won't regret it.
Would I consider it as a career? Most certainly, yes. There's a lot more time that you can get to know your patient. You get to follow their whole journey, their timeline. You get to understand that it's not about just managing the disease. It's about how you can make their quality of life better.
They know their patients, their clinical history and all of the context there. Also how they're getting on in their life, because their environment and how they live and where they live has such a bearing on it as well.
They really get to know their patients, their family circumstances, kind of who they are as a person rather than just what they are as an illness.
We sometimes ask our GP tutors, why would you have a student in your practice? What's the benefit to you? They find it energising. They find that the medical students are so enthusiastic that it kind of gives everybody a lift. They enjoy hearing the newer things that medical students can bring out to them. So there's benefits for our medical students, of course, there's future benefits for the GP workforce, but there's real tangible benefits to the GP as well.
I did my 2 weeks general practice rotation in Spiddal, and I remember spending time during those 2 weeks with the GP registrar there, and she had a profound effect on me. She was hugely inspirational and influential on me at that stage as a young female student of medicine, and that impacted me just so clearly that this was what I wanted to do.